So, hi everybody. Nice to see you. It's Georgina again, as you know from the Intimacy Revolution. And today I have the pleasure of speaking with Leslie Brissett. And some of the things we wanted to touch on was couples. You know, what constitutes a couple, what makes it work, when do you feel a couple, how does that work? Why are we so adamant that we need to live in couples?
Goes right back to the beginning. Was Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden? No, I think it's a difficult one, isn't it?
It really is.
And it goes to the fabric of our whole society. It's not just about how people take up their living situations. It's in the fabrics of everything. Everything is geared towards couples. Yeah,
everything seems to be organized for twos. You know, booking a hotel room.
It's it. And either you're on your own, or you're in some form of a couple.
Yeah, true.
Are you a twin or a double?
And so, do you think that's maybe something we all crave? There's this deep-rooted desire to be part of a couple?
I think there is something in the way that we live. So there's some ancient mythology stories about, that says that we were created as pairs.
Yeah, true.
We were attached back to back.
I remember the stories, yes.
And then we got separated. And so the whole of existence then becomes a journey to find the other half.
But that would mean we all feel incomplete.
Yes.
I find that rather sad.
It is sad, but it's the basis of the advertising industry.
It's true.
That we're all incomplete.
I finally found you, I'm complete.
Exactly.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah, you know, you're the perfect orange, you're the perfect car, you're the perfect house, you complete me.
Yeah.
It's the basis of how commerce is run. You know, capitalism is based on us being deficient in some way, and through shopping you can become fulfilled.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Wow, so
that's true.
Let's assume that then you are part of a couple. How do you know you are?
That is the million-dollar question. How do you know? We both do the same job on one level. We both marry people.
Yes.
And one of the things I say to young people, I've been doing it now for nearly 10 years. Maybe 10 years? 8 years? 9 years? And I say to the men in particular, when did you know? Because I think there is a thing. Have you ever met the person and you knew?
Knew what? What was I supposed to know?
That they were the other half of you, or they could be the other half of you. I have a theory that we could love anybody.
Yeah, me too.
You could have a relationship with anyone that could last a lifetime. If you allow yourself to love them, you could do it with anybody. You could walk out the street now, find somebody and make it work. But we've all been contaminated with the idea of true love and the bow of Eros, Cupid's arrow hitting us.
But I have found that some people, I have better chemistry with some people, or I find myself having easier conversations, more in common. Also that differs throughout the phases of my life.
Okay. But chemistry, rapport, all of those things are momentary.
I don't think chemistry is, you know.
Yeah? Does chemistry last a lifetime?
Well, 21 years is still going strong, I think so.
Yeah, but I mean, when you talk to old people who are like 80 and nothing works like it used to, do they still have chemistry? In that same way as they did when they
Well, it depends on what kind of chemistry we're talking about.
Okay, so what are we talking about?
So I'm not talking about like sexual chemistry or deep-seated passion. I'm talking about the chemistry where you feel really comfortable with somebody and you feel like there is an ease with which you can be with this person.
Yes, I have that with Waterstones Piccadilly.
It's a bookshop, people, it's a bookshop.
It's the best bookshop in the world. We know each other, we have a chemistry. It's just ease and bliss.
Well, I think you can have a chemistry with places as well.
Absolutely.
For sure,
Absolutely.
for sure. Yeah. Okay, people and places, it's true.
Yeah. And what's the difference between a person or a place? It's just the idea of utility. Well, you walk into the bookshop, every shelf is speaking to you. The chairs are speaking, the cash registers are speaking. There's a dialogue the minute you enter. You go to the lift, it asks you where do you want to go. I've got 5 floors. I can take you here, here, here. What do you want?
So basically, are you saying that it's all about being open to being connected?
Yes.
To whatever and whomever?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think so. And I think there is a possibility to get to a place where you are so connected that even the idea of separation and loss doesn't exist.
Ooh, go on.
Where you are so full of connection that you're just surrounded by and infused by abundance. There is no lack.
Okay. But I think there's quite a few couples out there who are now disappointed.
Yes. And they're disappointed because they didn't get their expectations met. Often they weren't honest. They didn't say, here's my shopping list, and I will love you as long as you do these things. You stop doing these things and I will withdraw my love. Mm-hmm. And so the disappointment is that they finally met the other person's list and realised how they were lying to each other. And now they have to live with the disappointment that they couldn't be honest with each other at the start.
But then again, the benefit of the theory, I'm going to call it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one?
The theory that you can come to this place where you're connected with everything and everybody. Yeah. So, because take it as you want. There is no such thing as truth.
I don't believe even what I'm saying.
Yeah. So but you know, that means that there's still a lot of things that these couples can do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's that wonderful woman. What's her name? She did the TED Talk.
Esther Perel.
Esther Perel, who says when she was dealing with people whose relationships had come to an end, she said, this is the end of that one. What do you want the next one to be?
Are you willing to create a second relationship together?
Yeah.
That's what she asked them. So if you come to a crisis, basically what she said is, you know what? Don't expect to go back to the situation as it was before that, because you can never wipe away what happened. What you can do is learn from that and transform, and then decide very clearly whether or not you want to move on and
have a new marriage.
Have a new relationship.
With the same person.
Have a continued path together, but make it a new path.
A new marriage.
A new marriage.
Yeah. And I like that idea of constant rediscovery.
Oh yeah.
That, you know, who you married is not who you're married to.
Oh.
And,
I mean, God forbid. I mean, how much have you changed over the last 20 years? Oh, sorry, he's not that old. So, last 10 years?
Last 6 years, yes. It's been, unrecognisable in some places, and some bits are exactly the same. So, you know, we're even mysteries to ourselves, never mind to the other.
Yeah.
And that too is part of the adventure, though, isn't it?
Oh, hello.
Somebody wants to join the conversation.
Somebody wants to come out of the closet.
Well, why go in the closet in the first place? Now that's something to talk about, isn't it?
Okay, so hold on. Don't go into that. Let's close this one off.
No, it's the same.
Oh, it's the same thing.
It's connected.
Oh, it's connected. Oh, fine.
Yeah,
go on.
There are lots of people in couple relationships. No, stay. Lots of people in couple relationships who started out with the fantasy that this one man loves this one woman.
Yeah.
And often these were men or women who were also loving other men or women of the same gender. And now there's like an explosion of people coming out at the age of 60, 70, 80.
Yes.
Who have lived a whole 2-3 generations with one person, and they're now coming out saying, actually, I'm whatever. I'm coming out of the closet. So there's that wonderful series, Frankie and...
Yeah, with Jane Fonda and the other
Lily
one.
Tomlin.
Yeah.
Yeah, these two men who've been together all these years.
Women.
No, the two men.
Oh, the two...
The husbands are partners, aren't they?
Yeah, the husbands. No,
the husbands are business
because
partners.
I think, are you calling Jane Fonda?
No, she's definitely a woman. Definitely a woman.
Sorry. Yeah. The two men.
Yeah, and they come out. and their daughters have to deal with it, their children have to deal with it. So, you know, I think we need a new kind of plasticity. You know, they talk about neurons and the brain and how the brain is wired, and those wirings, if they keep doing the same old thoughts, get fused.
Yeah.
But there's now the theory that actually the brain can rewire itself, neuroplasticity. So we need a kind of cultural plasticity to be able to accommodate all the new changes that are coming to the surface, particularly in how those affect couples. So, yeah.
A new age is dawning.
It's here.
It's here. Not even dawning.
We are it. We are it. We are the people of the revolution. And so when people look back in 30, 40 years' time, they'll say, those people who were alive in that 2010, 2020, 2030 phase were real pioneers. We are it. So
Wonderful.
keep loving.
Keep loving. I think that's the message. And keep trying to challenge yourself to remain open.
Living in the mystery. You know, we often talk about living in the questions, but to do that is to really let go of the fact that there is any solid ground anywhere. So to really enter not knowing. And that's how you meet your partner, when you're willing to not know and be surprised.
And, you know, you're going to be scared. That's okay. But also be excited.
Or else.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.